Hello everyone, it's Sal, Stretford Post. How you all doing? And welcome to another episode of Breaking Dawn. I hope everyone's doing good. Hope everyone's doing fine, guys. And hope everyone is relaxed, guys. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new. And please don't forget to smash a like on the video. Guys, listen. We got a few days to the window reopens, and then we're going to get a lot more news coming out of Manchester United. Of course we are. It's not over. In regards to Embremo, I'm hearing that the Embremo deal is almost done. It's like the finer details. It's almost done. And Embremo will be a Manchester United player. That is what I'm hearing. We are basically up to date in regards to how quickly this transfer should be the duration of it. Basically, they said it's normal. So it's normal that the duration of this transfer, this type of transfer, so what do you think of that? Is it normal that Man United spend this much money, this much time on one player? Is it normal? Do you think Manchester United should speed up? I do. I think they do. I think I do. Because one thing I say is this, right? I say that Man United are unique in a way because it's not just we need to bring in that player, we need to bring in that player and that player. It's we need to get rid of that player and that player and that player. We've got a lot of things to do, guys. And we're moving at a pace like that is a little bit slow, right? No surprises there. As I said, messy business. Man United are a messy business. Man United are very messy. Look what's happened to Gyökeres. Trouble follows us all around. We can't just smoothly transition a transfer into Manchester United. We can't do that. We just can't seem to do that. Why is that? It's the way we're owned, who we're owned by, of course. We all know that. But the news coming out about Gyökeres and Arsenal, I think that's a little bit far-fetched. It's from a Portuguese outlet, which I don't really trust. You know what I mean? So, look, it is messy, but I am of the belief that we will get Embremo done. That's going to be done. But we cannot rest on our laurels. What are we going to do after Embremo? What's going on after Embremo? We got a lot of work to do, guys. We've got a lot of work to do. As I said, by the end of June, I want to see developments. I want to see things going on. Guys, what are we now? The 12th of June? Okay, look, we've got a couple of weeks. Right? And I want to see Embremo and a striker in the door. Whoever the striker is, whatever it is, whether you believe in them or not, whether he's your favorite striker or not, if we get a striker and Embremo, and by the end of June, then we can start thinking about other positions on the pitch. And then by the window, we can be in a much better, more confident position, of course. Big up everyone who's joined me today. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're good, Gavin. Good to see you, mate. Morning, sir. It looks like business as usual. It's another messy window. No fault of ours. Gyökeres and Embremo were supposed to be in by now, and no one is leaving, so we desperately need a striker. What I would say, Gav, look, I said it, and I'm not going to flip-flop from this. I've said I'm going to give him to June. I said the end of June. I know that the Embremo deal was done. I've been told it's done. It's done. The finer details, the ironing out is all done. We just have to straighten out a few things, and that is done. Where do we go from here? If obviously the Gyökeres thing has got extremely messy. It's extremely messy, that deal looks a little bit bleak at the moment. If you ask me, because Arsenal are going to come in, and now obviously we're burning bridges, so Arsenal are going to have a better chance of signing Gyökeres, probably. Apparently, I don't think so. I still think it will go through. The Gyökeres one, I still think that I'm placing my bets on that. I think he'll go to Man United. I think all this business going on could be a tactic to raise the price. Who knows, but it is messy. And not like Man City, who just get deals done and done and done. And Man City, I don't know how they managed to spend over 400 million since January. But they seem to get their deals done smoothly without a problem, as do Liverpool. They get their deals done smoothly. So it beggars belief, isn't it? Why are we trying to copy the Chelsea model when there's teams like Liverpool and Man City who are doing things very well? It really is. It really does beg a belief. Cornish Maid, what's going on? How you doing, my friend? I'm sure Ineos are looking for alternatives for Gyökeres, i.e. Osimhen, or even Ramos. It will be a bit of a boost for the fans if Embremo was announced, that's for sure. Good morning, Sal, and everyone. Thank you so much for joining me, Cornish. I think we do need that. I think, mate, Cornish mate, I think we do need a bit of a boost. I think a lot of the fan base need a bit of a boost. I think if we got Embremo in, I think that's the number 10 sorted out. So we're like, okay, now the striker. And, we just want to move quickly because it's not only the players that we want to bring in, it's the players that we want to go as well. There's a lot of things to happen, of course. There's a lot of work to be done. You know, a lot of players to leave. And it's not just straightforward deals as well. We got the likes of Sancho and Rashford and Anthony. These are not easy deals to do. And we haven't even got one out the door yet. So what the hell is going on? We employed these guys in regards to their chief skillful negotiators, isn't it? That's why we employed them for. We spent all that money. But as I said, I'm not going to dive into the realms of panic. I'm not going to panic. I'm going to wait until the end of June. And then obviously you got the 1st of July, which is the financial year, right? Starting. So I would say that let's wait until then. Hopefully we'll have everything solid. I do believe that the deal has been agreed. I believe the Mbeumo deal has been agreed. In regards to Gyökeres, this is very, very messy at the moment and very, very sensitive. So I'm playing that by ear because I think if Man United cannot touch Gyökeres, if they cannot go near Gyökeres, if it's going a little bit that way, we need to concentrate on someone else, whether that is Mateta, Osimhen, as you said, Ramos, you know, whoever it is. Man United need a striker, you know, but obviously Gyökeres would be the priority, but Osimhen could it quite easily come into Manchester United, you know, for a similar price. So why not? Natty, good morning, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Good morning. So is it true Arsenal in talks to Gyökeres? Talks, no. Queried, maybe. I wouldn't say talks. No, they're not in talks. This came from an outlet in Portugal that is not very reliable in regards to it's not established. So I would take that with a little bit of pinch of salt. A bit of Salt Bay. That's what I would do. I'll take that with a bit of salt. Of course, these things happen all the time. Even when we're going after, another team are going after a player, you may hear Man United are also in for them. It's that kind of thing, you know? And we know that this isn't always the case. In regards to Gyökeres, of course, there's going to be other teams interested in Gyökeres. You know, there is. Arsenal need a striker. As far as I'm aware, Arsenal are definitely deep in Sesko talks at the moment. Sesko talks. So I don't know if they're going to be going after Gyökeres as well. Gyökeres, apparently the project suits him. He's excited about the Arsenal project. But I would take that with a pinch of salt as well. You know, but if we do miss out on Gyökeres, we've only got ourselves to blame. We're the ones who are snoozing and losing. You know. This is precisely why we needed a full sale at this football club. This is precisely why we needed this full sale, because things like this can happen. This is precisely why some of us said maybe it's better we parted ways with Bruno, right? Bruno's 31, 100 million for a 31-year-old. This is partly why, right? Now, we got Bruno. Bruno stays. I like Bruno. Don't get me wrong. I love Bruno. But let's be realistic here, guys. That money could have done wonders for our team. You know, and that's what I'm saying. But Bruno stays. So Gyökeres is obviously in the thin thread, isn't it? You know, we have no divine right to buy Gyökeres. We have no Champions League football. We have no Europa League football. You know, we're in a bit of a shambles at the moment. So we have no right. So when we were close to buying Gyökeres, which I still believe we are, by the way, I still think that we are the favourites. The odds have gone down a little bit, but we still are the favourites. You know, that's no surprise. We can't blame anything but the way we performed over the years, the way this football club has handled itself over the years. That there's no surprise that teams like Arsenal are stealing a march on us when we used to steal a march on them. You know, this is something that needs to change. However, I am also a little bit concerned by the way this FFP and PSR has been used as an excuse. It's been used as like a kingpin of an excuse, you know. Whereas Man City can spend 400 million since January, you know, 400 million, and then nothing is done about them, given they've got 115 charges as well, isn't it? Big up, Natty. Ellen, good morning, Ellen. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. Morning, sir. How are you, my friend? Very well. Marky Mark, good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. Very well. Hope you're doing well, brother. Morning, CT. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Sanjay, good morning. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. And Albie, good to see you, Albie. Hope you're good, my friend. Hope you're very, very well. Thank you so much for joining Stretford Post. Good morning, Ty Borg. How you doing, brother? Drinking my second coffee and watching my favorite United channel, Dolce Vita. Absolutely, absolutely. Sweet life. Absolutely. That means absolutely. I just had one coffee today. Yeah, I would like another coffee. Man United make me want to drink more coffee. That's the problem. I need like a little tube coming from a big device, right? All the way into my mouth. And I just drink it. And it's on the side of my mouth whilst I'm doing the stream. And it's just pure caffeine. You know what I mean? Because Man United are just so, you know, it's never plain sailing with Man United. You know, Man United would say, hey, Man United, this is Man United. Let me sum up Man United, right? Man United will say, touch your left ear. They'll do this. Not this. They'll do this. That is Man United. Okay? And when it comes to the transfer window, this is exactly what we are. I mean, an absolute confused not a lot, of course. But obviously, I'm not just saying that everything is dead and buried, everything is doom and gloom, the world is burning and stuff like that. I do believe we get the deals over the line. I think we will. In regards to Gyökeres, I think we'll get him still. I think this Arsenal rumour is a little bit exaggerated. Typical, isn't it? It sells news, it sells papers, clicks, likes, whatever it is. So it's typical, isn't it, that people would be talking about another team are in for it. I mean, it's always going to be that with Man United. Another team is in for for Gyökeres. We always knew that Arsenal were in for Gyökeres. We always knew that. We know they are, but I believe that he wants to come to Manchester United. That is his preferred destination. CT, it's taken long, but Brentford have slowed it down. Yeah, Brentford slowed it down. But one thing I would say is that the duration of the Bremo deal is normal. It is normal, by the way, the duration of it so far. It is basically everything is as it should be in regards to how a deal should be negotiated. And Bremo's going to be a Manchester United player. It doesn't really matter whether it's tomorrow, whether it's next week, as long as it doesn't drag into the pre-season. I want it before pre-season so we can get him into the training. So July. It's going to be done before that, guys. It's going to be done before that. In Bremo deal, I will be extremely surprised if the Bremo doesn't play for Man United next season. And Man United will bring in a striker. We are in for a striker, regardless. If we don't get Gyökeres, okay, Gyökeres, goodbye, sayonara, Tara. You go to Arsenal. We go after someone else. We go after Mateta. We go after Osimhen. That's what we do. At the end of the day, that's what we do, and we're going to be good anyway. We're going to be better next season anyway. So there we are, and at the end of the day, look, we can't, no more dramas, you know what I mean? No more dramas. Absolutely we just don't need it anymore. All these dramas that happen with Man United. And I just feel like Man United need to know where we stand. Gyökeres, of course, the problem is that Manchester United are concentrating on one deal at a time. And I said that the other day. I said we're like little bit here and then lot here. A little bit here and a lot here. So it's like that, right? And we're not fully going for two deals completely at the same time. Sporting Lisbon wants 70 million. Man United are not going to pay 70 million. But what do I say about that? Bruv, pay the money. Pay the money. You want that player, that's your player, pay the money. 70 million euros, 61, 62 million pounds, isn't it? I don't know my obviously conversion rate, but that is what it is, isn't it? Just bloody pay the money. Just go for it. Forget all this nonsense that we're hearing at the moment. Just give the money, bring them to Manchester United, done, and let's bring on a midfielder, a goalkeeper, a right winger, and stuff like that. And then we can move on, of course. Absolutely. Ellen. Chill, fans. The actual window isn't open yet. Barada said they have worked on this for months. They have a plan. I agree, Ellen. I agree. The actual meltdown, I understand it, Ellen. I do, obviously, because obviously the experiences don't fill us with hope. And it's perfectly understandable for people, especially when they're hearing things about Asna and things like that. They get a little bit annoyed, just get it done, What I would say is that the Bremo deal was done. I've said it. The Bremo deal is done, right? And he will be a Manchester United player. Gyökeres, of course, we are still interested in Gyökeres. He is not in talks with Arsenal. Arsenal have inquired, but they inquired ages ago, right, in regards to that. I've already said that Gyökeres has a gentleman's agreement, not only with Sporting Lisbon, and not Manchester United and Sporting Lisbon. We're talking about Ruben Amorim and Gyökeres. They have a gentleman's agreement. How valuable and how much weight do you put on this gentleman's agreement is a different story. We'll have to wait and see. But I'm confident. I'm telling you that we will have a good summer this season. Yeah, this summer. We will have a good summer. We need to have a good summer. It defeats the point to bring in a manager with a distinctive style of play, their guy, bringing in midway through the season, right? And then not backing him in the summer. That would just be insanity. It would be, wouldn't it? So I would say that, let's just be a little bit more zealous and try and believe a little bit more that things are going to get better and things will be good, of course. Don't worry. We have to do something with Sporting. We do not have to remove players to get strikers. It's that the most important. We don't need to move anyone, but we do need to remove players if we want to get a midfielder and a winger and a goalkeeper. We do. We don't need to move anyone. That's right. We don't. But at the end of the day, it does give you more maneuver room in regards to FFP and PSR. Look, I'm not a big fan of FFP and PSR. I think that is an absolute farce. I think what Manchester City are doing at the moment is wrong, right? And I think there is something sinister going on. They're bending the rules. I don't think rules should apply if they could be bent. At the end of the day. So what I would say is that, yes, we do need to sell players. No, it's not a priority, but yes, we do. It's not only about bringing in money. It's not just about money. It's also about toxicity within the dressing room. Players who don't want to be at the football club, disrupting the vibe in the dressing room and things like that. It is also about things like that, isn't it? It's also about, players coming back from loan who are going to disrupt the young players, for example, and be a bad influence on them. Look at Jadon Sancho. What's Jadon Sancho going to do when he comes back to Manchester United? It's going to be hell of awkward. That's one thing, but at the end of the day, it's not going to be good for Man United in the toxicity level. That's why they need to go as well. It's not just black or white. Tyber, I understand why we are so much. I understand why we are so much after Gyökeres, but maybe it's time to move on to Osman or someone else. We can't spend the whole month chasing one player. I hope we don't, Tyborg. I hope we don't. I don't think Man United will sign a striker this month. I think we'll go after one in July. I got this feeling. I think Umbrella will be done this month. I believe it's already done. I think that the here we go can still happen now, guys. Just to let you know, here we go in regards to Fabrizio Romano and stuff like that can still happen. Here we go can still happen this month, guys. It doesn't mean that it's officially done, signed pen to paper. It means that the deal is done. It can still happen, and I believe it will this month. But what I would say is this: we might have to wait a bit longer for a striker. And hopefully, if we get a striker, guys, let me tell you this. If we get a striker in Bremo, Cunha, and a goalkeeper, how would you rate that? 4 players, right? 4 players. How would you rate that out of 10? I still think we need a midfielder, a right winger, but I think that will fix a lot of problems within our team at the moment. Absolutely. Natty, this Gyökeres saga will go on to July. It won't be easy. Let's wait and see. Let's not speculate. Ineos and Glazers out. Absolutely, Stephen. Big up, Stephen. Hope you're doing well. One wants to spend what they want, backdoor payments. Stephen, what I would say, Stephen Maguire, what I would say is this. If Man City can bend the rules, right? If Man City can bend the rules, why don't we bloody bend the rules? Why are we so nice goody-goody for? Why are we being goody-goody for? If the rules can be manipulated, what's the point of having rules in the first place? If Man City can get away with 115 charges and spending 400 million since January, right? Why don't we bend the rules? Why are we being so goody two-shoes? You know what I mean? Going by the book. Maybe it's down to us to be a little bit more rogue, be a little bit more ruthless in regards to the financial side. Oh, FFP. Oh, FFP. Oh, we got so much little room to maneuver. They're manipulating the rules. They're doing business deals and stuff like that. Why aren't we doing that? Mr. Big Businessmen, that we have at our football club. So why don't we do that? Because at the end of the day, we're falling further behind. City getting Naipan. City don't even need Naipan. They got Manouche. They got Cherky. You know what I mean? They got Bernardo Silva still there. They got players still there, and they're sending Naipan off on loan, apparently. Can you believe it? Victor Meldrew. You know what I mean? I can't. And you know what I mean? I would have loved Naipan at Manchester United. Naipan's a great player. And they're just going to send him on loan. They're just buying players so we don't buy him. Do you think Sporting Lisbon president wanted to have classy farewell or for Gyökeres? I don't know, mate. All I know is that in regards to the agent of Gyökeres, I think the agent is the problem. He's changed his agent, and this agent is the guy. This is the same agent, I believe, as the guy who gave us the runaround with De Jong. The same guy. So this guy might be a bit of an issue. You know what I mean? He might be a bit of a problem. Obviously, he wants his agent fees. He's looking at the deal and thinking, oh, no, that's too cheap. You know what I mean? This is what's going on at the moment. So as far as I'm aware, there's the same agent as the De Jong situation. So I'm not surprised this has happened, to be honest with you. This greediness that happens in football, these agents who do F all, you know what I mean, and just want money. That's why Alex Ferguson hated agents. That's why Alex Ferguson was totally against Pogba's agent. It's mad. Kenny, CNN report Portugal ain't reliable. That's like listening to slow sports news. It isn't reliable. Kenny. And Kenny, what I would say is that I would have been surprised if no rumours happened, because this has been too smooth. For Man United and Gyökeres, it's been far too smooth. You know, this isn't Manchester United. We need a competitor. We need a little bit of dramas here. Do you know what I mean? That's what we need. We need a bit of dramas, you know. And I would say that it's not panic stations at the moment, and we shouldn't worry too much, in my opinion. But in a couple of weeks, it could be panic stations. I'm not saying it's never going to be panic. I want things done quickly. If we are competing with Arsenal, do you think we can get him? Yes, Natty. Yes. Yes. I'm not going to be doom and gloom. I don't think Arsenal is as attractive as some people think. Man United pays 72 million for Højlund, 62 million for Gyökeres. Goal machine. It's a bargain. Absolutely, it is. I can't believe still we paid that much money for Rasmus. What are we doing? We can look at Osman too. We can. The betting odds are close between Manchester United and Arsenal. I am worrying. Yeah, Natty, it is. But don't worry. Look, at the end of the day, if Gyökeres choosing Arsenal, that's Gyökeres, isn't it? Then we move on. But I think we should move on now. I think what we need to do is call their bluff. What Man United need to do is go after Osman now. Make them panic a little bit. You know, play a game with them. Play the game with them. They're playing the game. We play the game. All right, you're talking to Arsenal. All right, we go after Osman then. You know what I mean? That's what we should do at the end of the day. I believe that Arsenal are getting Sesko. I believe that they are very deep in conversations with Sesko at the moment. So I think this is a little bit exaggerated in regards to the Arsenal news. We already know that Arsenal are one of the teams that are interested in Gyökeres. We know that. We've heard that from the beginning. But Man United have still in the march, and there is agreements and stuff like that. Gyökeres wants Manchester United, in my opinion. Tyberg, as soon as United wants a player, it changes everything. People know how big this club still is, and they smell money. As soon as United keeps knocking, this makes them much more complicated for us. Exactly. It's Man United tax at the end of the day. This is what it's been about from the beginning. Man United tax. You know what I mean, Tyberg? And you know, Man United need to call their bluff. Man United need to say, okay, right, you don't want to come to Manchester United. Fine. We're going to go after Osman then. All right? Goodbye. That then they can panic a little bit. You know what I mean? I believe that we got things sorted. I believe in Barada and Wilcox and Vivel. I believe in these guys. I think they're good. I don't think they're rubbish. I think they're good at what they do. Brailsford as well is gone anyway, but I think they're good, and I think that we will get the deals done. I'm confident in regards to that. Absolutely. Step, what's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good morning. Big up the community. Big up, Step. Hope you're doing well. Of course, we have to blame for not winning Europa League. Yeah, playing a crappy game against Tottenham, one of the worst Tottenham. And that. Thank you, Natty. If we do not get Gyökeres, people will blame Bruno. It is a shame. It is a shame. But we have to be realistic, Natty. That it's not down to Bruno. It's down to Ineos. You know, and we could have had a full sale. You know, at the end of the day, we wouldn't have had to worry about 100 million. But this moment in time, Bruno's the reason that we don't have that 100 million. That's a fact, right? That's a fact, right? What we make of that is whatever you want to make of that. But that is a fact. Man United not having 100 million is down to Bruno's decision, right? He wanted to stay at Man United. But can we blame Bruno? No, we can't. We can't blame Bruno. We blame ourselves. We blame the fact that Ineos took charge of a football club on the 27%. You know, when we could have sold the club fully to Qatar. We could have had a full sale. We could have had money in, debt cleared. You know, we could have had a lot of money. FFP would be through the roof. PSR would be through the roof. We wouldn't have to worry. We'd be competing right now. But unfortunately, it is what it is. We have what we have. And there's no point blame game. There's no point throwing blame there. There's no point doing that. What we have to do is just concentrate what we have right now and just, you know, hold people who need to be held accountable. If we don't get the transfers in by next season. But guys, I believe the panic is too much. I think that by the end of June, if we haven't got things sorted, we are not progressing in some deals, then we can start getting a little bit, you know, twitchery. You know what I mean? I think we just need to be a little bit more calm and we'll be all right. Don't worry about it. Listen to Uncle Sal, guys. Listen. Dabizas. Because Cunha, Osman, and Bremo looks good too. It does, Dabizas. Absolutely. Absolutely. I think at this point, Gyökeres will go Greece League before playing for Sporting again. I think Man United is the first choice if he wouldn't get upset with the price tag. Exactly, Ellen. Exactly that. Very, very good point, that. Because at the end of the day, if he was interested in going to Arsenal, if Arsenal are willing to pay the money for Gyökeres, why would he be moaning? Why would he be threatening to take Sporting Lisbon to court? Peep the game, guys. Ellen has. Why would he threaten to take Sporting Lisbon to court if Arsenal win and pay the money? It's like that guy. There you go. It's like that, isn't it? It's that guy from Twitter, TikTok, isn't it? You know, why at the end of the day, why would he complain, right, if Arsenal are going to pay the money and he's interested in going to Arsenal and he wants to go to Arsenal? Why would he complain? Why would that happen? You know what I mean? He's complaining because they've raised the money and Man United are not happy about them raising the money. Man United are not happy about the gentleman's agreement, which was made place. Sporting Lisbon are not happy. Gyökeres is not happy. His agent is not happy. Everyone's not happy, you know, at the end of the day, because he wants to go to Manchester United. You know? There we are. Champions League teams can afford 65 million improvement striker. Yeah. I mean, you look at Liverpool, right? I've been saying this, right? You look at Liverpool. Liverpool been in the Champions League the last 2 seasons, right? Liverpool earned 100 million from the Champions League last season. Before last season, the season before that, they earned 100 million from the Champions League. They've earned 200 million in 2 years on the Champions League, right? That is the difference between qualifying for the Champions League and not qualifying for the Champions League. We've lost 200 million. We've lost 100 million this season. We've lost 100 million. So if we got in the Champions League, we could have got that money. Unfortunately, we let Spurs get into the Champions League. Spurs, who are just going to be making up the numbers. Spurs, who are going to use that 100 million and pull it in their back pocket. That's what Daniel Levy does, doesn't he? You know, it's crazy. It annoys me. It's so annoying. You know what I mean? Timo, good morning. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. News comes out of Sporting Board that want more money. Then all of a sudden, Arsenal are now in for him now. Timo, as I said earlier, if Arsenal were in for him as intense as people are saying they're in for him, how comes there's the commotion going on? Because if he's happy to go to Arsenal and Arsenal are willing to pay the money, how comes there's a lot of commotion going on within the sporting ranks, within Sporting Lisbon and Gyökeres and his camp? How comes there's a lot of anger and suing business going on? If he's happy to go to Arsenal, if Arsenal are happy to pay the money, that's what I want to know. You know, because I do believe that there's a lot of rumors spreading just to unsettle Man United. And I'm not saying that everything is untrue. It's not true. There's always an element of truth. There's no smoke without fire. But what I'm saying is that I think that the Arsenal links are extremely exaggerated. I believe that, you know, and I think that he wants to go to Manchester United. He wants to go, and he was promised that he will be sold for this money, 60 million plus 10 million in add-ons. And you know what do we do? What do we do? You know, I think Man United will say one more bid, raise the bid a little bit and say, this is the money we're going to pay. If not, we're not going to pay this money. Then we're going for Osimhen. And I think that's what we should do. But it is obviously subjective. Good morning, Nico. Big Nico, what's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, mate. Hope you're good. Good to see you, of course. Natty, some people are idiots no matter what happens around them. Big up, Ellen. Big up, Natty. Arsenal have enough money to buy both Gyökeres and Sesko, but none of them are going to sit on the bench, Dabisas, are they? They only play one up front. Who's going to sit on the bench? You know, absolutely. It's just like when people say we should sign Gyökeres and Osimhen. Are we going to leave Bremo or Cunha on the bench? They didn't come to Man United to sit on the bench. You know what I mean? That's what I would say. Gav, we had to hit the market hard and fast with a statement down to get rid of the players and bring players in. Patience only lasts so long. It does last so long. Of course it does, Gav. And I'm saying this, right? My patience is lasting to the end of June. I'm talking about the mid-20s of June. Right, my patience is lasting until then. That's not a long time. We still got until the 1st of September till the transfer window opens. But I want the players in by the preseason. So I'm looking at the mid-June. I want to see deals. I want to see here we goes. I want to see players at the door. I want to see progress. My patience lasts until then. My patience is not unlimited. You know, I haven't got an unlimited patience. You know what I mean? I am going to be I'm not going to throw my rattles at my pram, but I will up the ante a little bit if we get to the 20s of June and then we haven't got anything, guys. It's mad. And guys, just a little bit of news. News coming out of Manchester United that an alternative option is Eberechi Eze of Crystal Palace. Eze, of course, has been gaining the interest on Manchester United for a while. We are admirers of Eze. Great player. Of course, 55 million release in regards to euros. He got 12 caps. His contract expires in 2027. Obviously, attacking midfielder, left winger, left midfield, great player. Eze has been touted as an alternative to Mbeumo if the Mbeumo dies down. Now, what do I think of this, right? I think that Mbeumo deal was done. So I think that Man United, once we get Mbeumo through the door, we're not getting anyone else. Guys, we're not getting an Eze. But what I would say, this news was circulating yesterday about Eze coming to Man United. Should the Mbeumo deal fall through, we might go after Eze, which will be around the same price. Liverpool, Bayern Munich, Tottenham, Nottingham Forest, and Arsenal are also interested in Eze. But if Man United get in Mbeumo, which looks highly likely, forget about it. Forget about it. It's not happening, of course, guys. Another bit of news, of course, I spoke yesterday about the goalkeeper situation, guys. The goalkeeper situation, as announced by Ben Jacobs yesterday, is Marcin Bolka. Marcin Bolka is a Nice player who is a 25-year-old, very highly talented goalkeeper, would only set Man United back around 20 million euros. Could be cheaper. Contract expires in a year's time, 2026. So, should Man United do this deal? Should Man United get Marcin Bolka through the door? That's the bulk of it. What I would say is that, yes, Man United should get Bolka. Man United should bulk up a deal. Sorry about the puns. For this player, they should do. And we should get him through. It's going to be cheap. And I think Man United need a new goalkeeper. And I think we need to move Mr. Onana on, of course. Another bit of news in regards to young players that Man United, of course, have been looking at youth players around the country. It is none other than Harley Emston-James. Harley Emston-James is a centre-back who plays for the England under-15s and Southampton. Contract is expired. He's on a free transfer. Harley Emston-James will be a Manchester United player, barring anything, but it is another young player coming through the ranks, 16 years old. I know we don't really want to hear about 16-year-olds coming to Man United. Of course we don't. But he is a highly ranked defender, very, very respected in regards to his level. Very, very respected and could be a Manchester United player very, very soon, guys. So, yeah, Harley Emston-James, look out for Harley Emston-James, could be a Manchester United player very, very soon, guys. So, play that by ear. Just wait up and play that by ear, of course. Natty, we have the contact officer and Gyökeres. Yep, big up, Natty. Pep loses and so spends over 400 million. So much for the best manager. He's just the richest. Exactly, Mark. When has Pep ever gone to a team and won things without money? You know, never. He's always gone to a team. He either went to Barcelona, right? And let me get this straight about the Barcelona team, right? The Barcelona team, okay, the Barcelona team was built by Frank Rijkaard, not Pep Guardiola. And he walked into that job and he spent a lot of money and he added things to that team. So, you know, he's never been to like a Porto, like for example, Jose Mourinho has and won a treble. He's never gone to an Inter Milan and won a treble like Jose Mourinho did. You know, he's never gone to an Aberdeen and won a European trophy like Alex Ferguson did. You know, he's only been to places with money. Anyone could go and walk into Manchester City right now, right? You can get Sam Allardyce to walk into Man City, spend 400 million. He'll win the league too. You know, they've just gone out and spent 400 million. They spent money on Nipam and sending them out on loan. But what does that make you think about the state of FFP and PSR? Does that make you trust it? Do you trust it? If it can be manipulated so easily, why does it exist? You know, at the end of the day, I think this FFP is nonsense. I think PSR is nonsense. You know, and then you get all these Man City Defence League coming on my Twitter page telling me, blah, 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 giving me league tables of how much we spent. Listen, Manchester City fans, let me tell you a little something about Manchester United, right? We make our own money. We make our own money. You were given money. There's a difference between that, right? You are just a lottery winner. You won the lottery. You are a council estate bum who won the lottery. Basically, that's what you are, right? With your little pit bull, all right? That's what Man City are. Manchester United are a proper football team who built money organically. Yes, you are better than us right now. I know that. Why wouldn't you be? You spend 400 million since January. You're going to be better than us. But I tell you what, you'll never be bigger than us. And one day, let me tell you this, after this rant, right? We will be back, right? You just like a Red Bull. This is what Man City are. They're a Red Bull. They drink the Red Bull, they go up, but soon they're going to start drifting down. And I'll tell you what, you know something about when you go down, you're going to see the same people going down as you did going up. And that's the thing. And we will see you. Don't worry about that, Man City. We will see you. Absolutely. There we go. That is my run. Big up. Isiako, good morning, my friend. Hope you're doing well. 8 million euros, Sporting Arsenal for 70 euros, but he's fucking deserve it. Just pay the money. I say the same, Isiako. I say the same. I say just pay the money. Stop the dramas. No more dramas. Absolutely. Stop the dramas. You know what I mean? And there we go. Daddy Dave, good morning. Big up, Sal. Man, I'm gutted if Gyökeres goes to Arsenal. I'm gutted as well. I mean, I wouldn't be happy, but I don't think it's going to happen. Daddy, let's hope. Let's live in hope, my friend. I'd rather have Osimhen, to be honest, because Cunha and Mbeumo front three, scary. Gav, he's a great player. That's all I can say. I rate it 8 out of 10. If we signed Cunha, Mbeumo, Gyökeres, and a goalkeeper, 8 out of 10. I mean, yeah, it would be about an 8. If we got a wing back and a midfielder, I think it'd be even higher. Big up, Sanjay. Thank you so much. Daddy, Sal, who would be your first choice if we don't get Gyökeres and why? Osimhen. And the reason I say Osimhen is not just about how many goals he scored in Turkey. He scored goals at Napoli, won the league with Napoli. He's a beast. He holds up the ball well, brings other players into play, can finish, can head, strong. If I don't get Osimhen, my choice would be Mateta. I think Mateta is highly underrated. I think he's a dangerous player. I think he'd be brilliant. I mean, him alongside Cunha and Mbeumo. I mean, it'd be dangerous. I mean, those three players right there, I would be extremely happy with. There are other players around Europe. Ratigi is another player I admire a lot. I do. I think he's a very good player. There are other players around Europe that we can get. You know, this is why it's important that we get Mbeumo and Cunha, because those two players can supply the line, supply the balls for the striker, which would be great. You have a player who scores 40-odd goals a season. You know, he's going to score goals. You know, absolutely. Albie, if City are getting away with it, I hope Everton sue the Premier League. This is the thing, Albie. This is the thing. Exactly right. This is the thing. That they can manipulate the rules. So they can throw this at them and say, look at this. But we've done it by the book. This is not illegal. So if the rules can be manipulated, just scrap the bloody rules. Scrap it. Leave it. Because it's not a proper rule then, is it? Oh, you know what? It's all right as long as you're Man City. It's all right as long as you're Chelsea. That's okay. As long as you're those two teams, as long as you're not that Manchester United or you're someone low team like Everton or Crystal Palace, you know, it's all right. You can spend what you want. That's what I feel like. That's how I feel the things are going. I do feel like that, you know. Jonah Tech, good morning. How you doing? Can't see signing this keeper from Nice. UEFA transfer embargo and sales between us and Nice. Till firstly, it means we would literally have 13-hour window to sign in before the window closes. Good point, Jonah Tech. It is a difficult deal to do. Doesn't mean it can't happen. It is a possibility. It was mentioned by Ben Jacobs, who's been credible this summer, by the way. I think that it can happen. There are stipulations and manipulations as well, guys. I'm going to get into that later. Dabidzas. Well, we can use VTech. VTech's a good goalkeeper as well. We can get Kovar back. What about Kovar? He's good. Absolutely. If we do not get Gyökeres, Osimhen, and Mateta, it will be difficult to get perfect strikers. These are the two, Nati. And I agree with you, Nati. These are the two strikers that are the standout performers in Europe, you know, at the moment. We want one of those players, you know. If Arsenal get Gyökeres or another team gets Gyökeres and we get Osimhen, there's not too much to cry about, really, is there? Because he's a great striker as well. Of course, Gyökeres played in Ruben Amorim's system and his system. It would have been ideal, but if it doesn't happen, we can't cry about it. We just have to move on and get another one. But I believe that there's still life in this deal. I think we just have to be a little bit more patient, and hopefully we'll hear some positive news coming out in the next week or so. Of course, the window opens on Monday, of course. Hey, Sidcraft, well, long time no see. What's going on? Big up yourself. Long time. Hope you're well. Good to see you, mate. Everyone, good to see Sidcraft back in the house. What's going on? Sal, do you think United will finish top 6 this season if we've got Mbeumo? Sorry, I don't know his name correctly, and I didn't. We used buyback clause on Vara. We did, but we're not going to get him back, mate. We got enough left backs. He's going to Real Madrid. What I would say is that we will finish higher than the top 6 next, and that's my prediction. We will finish higher than the top 6 next season. I'm telling you right now. Right? You remember these words. Clip it. Do what you want to do. We'll finish higher than the top 6. Trust me. We need checkmate Arsenal on that agent. Yeah, the stupid agents, man. They drive me mad, absolutely. I think this Arsenal news is coming from the agents. I agree, Ellen. You know what I would say about it, Ellen, is that not everything is absolute. You know, we have to look at things from a perspective that maybe they're playing a game. Maybe they're trying to raise the price. So what we need to do is we need to play a game. We just say, okay, You want 70 million? We're going to go after Osman for 60. That's what we're going to do. 65. We go after Osman. We're all right, mate. Nice one. See you later. Good luck. Watch them come back. All right. We'll give you. You can give us this much, and we do that. No, we give you that much. That's what we need to do. You know, as we said, as you said earlier, Ellen, if he's so, you know, deep in Arsenal negotiations, as people were saying, talks with Arsenal and things like that, how comes there's this big commotion going on with Gyökeres? Because if he's happy to go to Arsenal, you know, then he wouldn't be moaning too much, will he? He'd be happy anyway. You know what I mean? Bomo, good to see you, mate. We've been linked with players while others are signing. I'm not happy with Ineos and co. There you go. I mean, at the end of the day, all that matters is that by the window, by the preseason, we got our players through the door. That is what matters for me. We get our players through the door, there's nothing to complain about. We just have to move on. If we get the players through the door, that is what's the most important thing for me, of course. In my opinion, do we need to start moving faster this most important window for years? And we are acting, we don't give a shit. We don't know that, Gav. We don't know if we don't give a shit. What we'd have to do is be patient, Gav. Be patient, mate. That's what I'm saying. This window, which just happened, was a bonus window. The window was always going to open on the 16th of June. The real window is the 16th of June. If we get to July the 1st and we still haven't done any business, then we can start getting on that level of that. I understand why people are frustrated. I get it. But look, let's wait. At the end of the day, let's wait. Let's see. Because the window isn't open now. So look, you know, let's wait until see what happens at the end of June. And that is always going to be my stance. End of June, if we haven't got any more players in, then I'm going to be a very, very pissed off gentleman. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. So let's wait and see. Dabidas, Obama go and find me, bring 100 millionaires. Big up. Any news on Bremo? Yes, Osas, big up Osas. How you doing, my friend? Very close. I'm saying that the deal is done. We just need to iron that finer details of the deal for Bremo. The Bremo deal is almost done. I'm saying 95% done. It would take something miraculous for this deal not to go through. And that means to do with Brentford, right? Man United almost done, right? This deal will be more, there will be more news about this deal. We're waiting on a here we go. Here we go can still happen anytime in regards to this deal. So I'm talking about Monday, the 16th is when the window opens again. You'll hear more and you'll probably get a here we go in regards to it. But I think this deal is literally done. I do. I've been told it has been literally done, of course. No news on 16th when window reopens. There will be news. David says there still is news. Official deals can't be done, but news can happen. Here we goes can still happen because here we goes are not an official signing of the paper. So agreements can still happen. Talks between clubs can still happen. You know? Big Nico. Gyökeres is reportedly prepared to go on strike to refuse to play for Sporting unless they move to materialize his thoughts. Big Nico, exactly this, right? Why would Gyökeres be going on strike? Right, all this news about Arsenal, right? Let's think about all this news about Arsenal. All this news about Gyökeres going to Arsenal. Why would Gyökeres be going on strike if he's happy to move to Arsenal anyway and Arsenal willing to pay the money? You know? Why would he be going on strike? It's because he wants a Man United move, isn't it? He wants to go to Man United and he feels betrayed by that. And what happens when a player threatens to go on strike? We remember when Anthony went on strike at Ajax, isn't it? Do you remember when Anthony went on strike at Ajax? Generally, it's not ideal between the relationships of the club, but generally the player gets his move. The player wins in the end of the day. That's what happens. Natty. So, why Jim Ratcliffe did not buy the whole club? Because at the end of the day, he's not trustworthy. I don't trust him. I never have trusted him. At the end of the day, I spoke about the 4 billion a long time ago. Now people are starting to talk about that. I've been speaking about that 4 billion for the last 6 months. You know what I mean? These people they bring in these things late. I've been speaking about where's that 4 billion he was going to buy Chelsea with. You know, I've been saying that from the beginning. You know what I mean? And now people are starting to talk about it. Yeah, where is that 4 billion? It's because he wanted to buy Chelsea. He doesn't support Man United. He supports Chelsea. Let's be real here, guys. Let's stop this nonsense. He's not a bloody Man United season ticket holder. He never has been. He's not a Man United fan. He never has been. All right? He's a Chelsea fan. All right? And what it is, this is why he wanted to go balls deep in paying 4 billion for Chelsea and not only pay 1 billion for Man United, you know? And this is what it is, you know? He could easily get that 4 billion, right? And pull it all towards Man United and fix up Man United, you know? Instead, he wants to use Man United funds and affect FFP and blah, 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 all that sweet stuff. Big up. Imagine if you be both United and big up Tyborg. Imagine if both United and Arsenal refuse to pay that amount of money and leave Sporting with a player who doesn't want to play for them anymore. That Sporting director can be in huge trouble. Yes, and this is the whole point, Tyborg, isn't it? This is the whole point. Business-wise, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense that they would do this because, as you said there, Tyborg, if Arsenal or Man United say, nah, we're good, we're not going to pay that money, that's too much. What does that leave your carers? Saudi Arabia? Is that what it leaves your carers? You're going to force him to go to Saudi Arabia or something like that. That's what's going to happen, isn't it? You know, so at the end of the day, look, the only thing that could happen realistically is obviously Saudi Arabia and obviously PSG come in with an offer. That's what could happen, you know, which will be a worry. You know, that would be a little bit of a worry, PSG coming. But my prediction is Osimhen goes to PSG, Gyökeres comes to Man United. That's what I believe is going to happen. I really do. Arsenal willingly paid 60 million for Havertz. We willingly paid 72 million for Rasmus Højlund. Liverpool paid 150 million for Wirtz. Mad, isn't it? Do you think Polish keeper is any good? Yeah, he's good. He's good. Not my favorite, not my number one, but he's a good goalkeeper. Yeah. Stanley Matthews, what's going on, my friend? I hope you're doing well. Why didn't Man United start direct negotiations instead of sending intermittently? I think Man United has been partly to blame the present and in past. Look, what we hear in past is, Stanley, in what we hear is not necessarily what the truth is. They've changed their agent. He changed his agent. Things have been done. We had a gentleman's agreement. Things get changed, don't they? At the end of the day. So what I would say is that I don't know what's going on. All I know is that Gyökeres is blaming Sporting Lisbon and the agent. You know, he's not blaming Man United. He's blaming them. You know, so at the end of the day, we could have made this a little bit more smooth. My feeling is this, right? If you want a player, right? We've been here before. We've been here before, guys. If you want a player, just bloody pay the money and get the player quickly. Get the player done. No dramas, because you'll end up paying the money anyway. But the problem is, if he gets overpriced, then what Man United need to do is to say, okay, that's it. We move on then. Let's go after Osimhen. That's what Man United need to do. They need to call their bluff and they say, look, you know what? We're not in the mood for these dramas. We're off. You know what I mean? And that's what we need to do. And then obviously there's going to be panic stations at Sporting, especially if Arsenal don't want Gyökeres, you know? Kenny, I'm not worried about the Gyökeres situation. Man United still negotiates with him. Bremo, yeah. Snooze, you lose, though. We have to be careful. My understanding is that Garnacho and Antony to be offloaded to get Gyökeres. Your understanding... Who's your understanding? Who's your source? Absolutely. And this is exactly why they are afraid to do such things. Yeah. Gyökeres does hold the cards, Kenny. He does. The player will always hold the cards. The player will always have the power. That is the way it is. Just like Antony had the power at Ajax, you know. Dabizas, Garnacho can be sent to Napoli to Osimhen for cheap. Could be. But the problem with that, Dabizas, let me tell you something, Dabizas. This is what we have to research football a little bit, Dabizas, all right? Football is not black and white. If we get rid of Garnacho and swap him with Osimhen, we will get hit hard with FFP. It will take off our FFP completely. It will come off our FFP because he is a homegrown. Learn it out, read about it. You know, we can't do swap deals with Garnacho and Osimhen. It won't happen. Rasmus, yes. Hated, adored, but never ignored. Big up, Marky Mark. Absolutely. We got the new centre back up for our academy. Young fella looks like he has legs to run for days. Absolutely. Ellen, Garnacho is definitely leaving and will be a 65 million plus for academy player. That opens a lot of doors. Hopefully it gets done quickly, Ellen. It will be done. It will be done. Things will be done, Ellen. Things will be done. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. I think he's a bargain only for 1 million too. Yep. Pep also said he only wants a small squad and then doubles the size of his team. He's a bloody blagger, mate. He's a chancer. He's a blagger. This guy, I can't stand the guy. Honest to God, he's a liar. Do you know what I mean? I'm getting impatient with him, Bremo. Me too. Absolutely. Good morning, Sal. Why not use Garnacho as part of negotiation for Osimhen instead? Vincent, FFP, PSR, it will affect FFP and PSR. If we do a swap deal, it will go eat into our FFP and PSR, which will harm us a lot. It will. Look it up. That's why we won't do a swap deal with Osimhen. Absolutely. I feel sorry for him as well, Robert. I do as well. I feel sorry for him. I feel sorry for anyone who takes this job. Patience, young Padwan. Ellen, Ruben was clear about improving the academy is an important source of birth, bringing in top talents to the first team, absolutely. But you're also really important for PSR. We need to sell academy players. This is why I don't like PSR, right? It defeats the objective, doesn't it? It forces you to sell academy players. How is this good for academy players? It's a ridiculous rule. It's so stupid. It's unbelievable. I don't know why they've done it. It's ruining football. Just relax with Brentford. It's done, Yale. It's done. Don't worry about it. PSR is why it's no movement. It's done, Yale. Don't worry. You'll hear news next week. I've already said it on the show. So that Harson guy, I checked it out. He's a scammer. Swords channel. Thank you, Beef Bully. Look, Beef, I don't come on this channel and slander people or discriminate against people or hurt people for no reason, right? I don't discriminate, but hurt people for no reason. What I would say is that there is a history, and I know about that history, and it gets swept under the carpet, you know? People don't really want to listen to it, you know? And to be honest with you, and because he's their favorite guy. I like him. He's a real guy. He's not a real guy, man. He's not. And I urge people to research it and you know, let me know what you think. And Broma deal will probably be clearer after the 16th. Yes, it's done, mate. It's done. Deborah says, I'm telling you, it's done. There's no need to worry. Good morning. Good morning, British Bulldog. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, bruv. GI says 9 out of 10 still need a CM and CDM. I think we need a goalkeeper more than anything. We are rock bottom at the moment. If it can get better, fans to 2028 KS, the year we win the league and compete in Champions League again. Come on, Ellen. Come on, Ellen. Carl, what's going on? Agree. City bought and paid for the success. We earned the success. Pipe down, City. They won't say that though, isn't it? They won't say that. They won't admit that. Man United built the Premier League organically through our own money. It's like me earning money, right? And spending the money on a nice, lovely shirt. It's my money. I can spend the money on a shirt I like. Just like Man United. They were given the money. They were a crap football team. They were given the money. The money could have been given to any football team in the world. They could have given it to bloody Leyton Orient, and Leyton Orient would be winning the Champions League. Anyone could have got that money. They didn't earn it. They ain't got the respect. They cheated as well, manipulated the rules as well. They are a fraud team. You know, I could walk the length and breadth of this country and I wouldn't see a Man City top. It's all fabricated ball. You know, and then I got a feeling, guys. I got a feeling that there is bots, Manchester City bots, loads of them. I'm talking about thousands of them on Twitter that are paid to back City up. Whenever something is said about Titty, that is it, Manchester Titty. Whenever something is said about Manchester Titty, they get their bots to attack. I got a tweet yesterday, over 1,000 likes, guys. Hundreds of retweets yesterday, right? Lots of Man City bots coming out of the woodwork, sending graphs and statements and this and that. At the end of the day, mate, it doesn't matter how much money Man United has spent, mate. We earn our own money organically, mate. And that's what it is at the end of the day. So they will fall. Don't worry about that. How much Osimhen wage? Going to be 200,000-300,000 at least, Natty, in my opinion. Maybe more. Tangier would bank Gyökeres. Play him on the right back. Meanwhile, Chelsea backdoor PSR. Never heard of those. He's a smokescreen style. Need to keep it simple and calm. Yeah. Cornish. Osimhen never received anything over 180 from Napoli, but he will for Man United. Guarantee that, Cornish. Trust me. I think 200,000 at least. Sal, but there will be no second bid info. Sal, but there is no second bid info. Look, there is. Don't worry about it. There is, Cyberman. There is. Don't listen to the ball. People underestimate this front three of Mbeumo, Koné, and Gyökeres. It will be deadly top these striker Premier League. It'll be deadly. It will. If it happens, it will be deadly, of course, at the end of the day. Sigraf, Osimhen is a good choice, but not for a long term. I don't understand why I don't go for a few long deals. Why not a long term? Why not long term? He's only 26. If we don't get much played through the door, our player won't sell. Do you think loaning a solid option? Nah, there's no one out there who I think is good enough. Good morning, Sal. Hope good. Family good. Thank you, Donovan. Hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for joining me, my friend. Thank you. FFS, so that is rat Chelsea. Need to fuck. I know, mate. I know. We warned people, didn't they? We warn people. Marcin Bolka is a very good at taking penalties. This dude is almost 2 meters tall. Yeah, he's a good goalkeeper. They're saving penalties. Yeah, I thought so. Taking penalties. I was like, what? No matter which forward players United sign, if Onana remains in goal, we will need to score 3 goals. Game sure to win. We need a new goalkeeper. That is for sure. Yeah. Absolutely. Swapney, what's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. What's up? Working with the parallel screen of your stream. Hope my boss doesn't find out. Big up, Swapney. Good to see you, Valvey. Full valve, Swapney. What's going on? Hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for joining me. And thank you for taking a risk, my friend. Thank you very much. Dabizas, good day. Good day, mate. Struth, mate. Ruben, come to United, Gyökeres. You can make me do anything. I know what they did last summer. Gyökeres, come on. Who is harder to sell, Garnacho or Rashford? Rashford. Easy. Rashford it hasn't broadened his horizons. He wants Barcelona. That's all he wants. So we should be like Liverpool on quick deals. We need to model Liverpool. Liverpool, as much as we hate them, they're very good at doing deals. And not only are they good at doing deals, they're good at doing deals silently. You know what I mean? Yeah. Trust me, bro. Yeah. That's what it is, Kenny. There you go. Pearl, good morning. Sell everyone, but the current sporting situation might devalue you guys rather than being asked for more. Yes, it could do. They might be forced to sell their hand. These things don't work out for anyone, Pearl. The thing is that they probably won't. They probably sell him at the 60 million plus 10 million. But it doesn't help anyone, these things. Yale. I want Osman over Gyökeres if he revolts against Sporting. Do Ruben even want him anymore? I would have thought that Ruben would want Osman if we don't get Gyökeres. I would have thought if we don't get Gyökeres, in my personal opinion, Yale, I think he would want Osman. I don't think anyone in Europe wouldn't want Osman. I think Osman is a fantastic striker. Stanley, how can we put Freedom Fighter in place? Does he think he can run down the contract and scoff the club? What we need to do is just send him out into the reserves or just send him on loan somewhere. That's what we need to do. Make him go to the League One or some shit like that, this guy. Good morning, Freya. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Big up yourself. Natty. Sal, what do you think of a fair price as Gyökeres? 60 million plus 10 million add-ons. Exactly that. I think that is the limit. But you know what? The amount of goals he scored, I can understand why they would want to send him for more. Kenny, Osman and Højlund transfer swap is good shout. Yeah. That's what we can do and get the money down. Diego Leon is coming on July, but when he will be academy player, but let's wait and see. Yeah, he will be academy player only for a time being, Fred, though. He will be, they're going to monitor his progress. If he does well, he'll be moving straight up. And I guarantee you, he's ready. He'll be moving up. Don't worry about that. Why are people losing their shit when we signed Cunha in the first mini window? And Bremo is a done deal too. It is a done deal. I'm telling you right now. They won't register players first try in any case. Exactly, Step. Exactly. And this is exactly what I'm saying. And Bremo is a done deal. Almost. Right? But it is done. It would be an absolute travesty if Bremo doesn't sign for Manchester United. Don't worry. As Step said there, the 1st of July is when the financial year opens, and then you're going to see a lot of movement. But deals will be done. And as long as he's at Man United before the preseason, that's all that matters, really, isn't it? Better off just sell Garnacho to Napoli and I'll see from them. No swap deal needed. Yeah, sell him and buy. Absolutely. What is the fair price of? I think I said that one. Big up Uchichi, what's going on? Gyökeres deal is scary now that Arsenal has entered the race, Mr. Sal. What do you think? I've already spoken about that. It's exaggerated. I've already said that. Guys, new home shirt is out today, guys. I don't buy anything from the Glazers anymore. Any Glazer ownership and stuff. Not anymore. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. You absolute legends. Big up, Mark. Big up, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Hope you're doing well. Guys, look, guys, I'll be back later on for Breaking Dawn, for Chatterbox. Don't forget to put your notifications on. Please don't forget to smash a like on the video. If you guys can do that for me, that'd be absolutely fantastic. And I will be back later on for Chatterbox, guys. And don't forget, guys, don't forget. Have a great day. Don't stress too much. News is coming in as we speak. You know what we were saying? There still can be here we goes coming in as well. There still can be. There still can be here we goes. So don't worry, guys. Everything will work out to plan. Fingers crossed. Guys, have a great day, great evening, great night, wherever you are in the world. I'm Sal Warner. This is Breaking Dawn. And I shall see you later on for Chatterbox, guys. Enjoy yourself. Take it easy. Peace.
One.